What does this mean? Very well. What does it tell me?
Take that!
This. Witness. Police department, the prosecutor's office. Two places, two detectives murder at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number right here. No, Your Honor. This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189.
Objection!
Bingo. What does it mean? That's what I want to know. The two ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Exactly. That's exactly what it means. Bingo! Yet, a Detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department. And the evidence were at the exact same time! Exactly. Same person was killed at the exact same time. And in a completely different location? Yes. One moment, please. Yes, it's top secret, fine. But I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. What? That's a good point. He did. Officer Meekins. We saw him when we were in Edgeworth's office. last night. Right there. And there's something very strange about Officer Meekins. See if you can spot what it is. Look at his hand. It's bandaged. He actually showed up at Miles Edgeworth's office. Exactly. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. True, he did. He said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman murdered in the police department evidence room. The victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Which means that somebody, I think you can figure out where I'm going with this. It means that the person who was actually murdered in the police department evidence room was the real Bruce Goodman, and the one who was actually murdered in the prosecutor's office parking lot was not Bruce Goodman. Somebody stole his ID card, and the imposter was the one who was actually killed in the prosecutor's office parking lot. That's a good point there, Emma.
Objection!
True, he could have. He could have submitted that evidence. Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. Anyone who has actually studied law would know that. Now, how is this rule relevant? Normally you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report was not on that list. I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Wright. Exactly. don't blame Edgeworth. Court is adjourned. Now, let us continue, shall we? Now, like I said, this case is a... you know what? I'll just say it. It's actually what us pro gamers actually call a slow burn. It can be confusing there, Emma. The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. True. Actually, she's gonna be of a lot. She's actually gonna be of a lot more help than you think, everyone. And believe it or not, we're gonna find out why. Very well. Alright, heading back to the parking lot. That is what we need to figure out. The issue with the oil drum. Even though she says that they don't get along, Emma really does like her sister. Big words for a high school student. Whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Now, what you're about to see is how Emma is going to be, I mean, extremely important to this case. Check this out. Bingo! I'm sure you're all familiar with luminol. For any of you who are not familiar with luminol, basically what it actually is a special testing fluid that is actually used for finding blood samples. Could be blood fingerprints, footprints, etc., etc. That's basically what luminol is. Luminol. That's true. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. That's true. Let's see what we have here. That's a good point. All right. Now, I do apologize if anyone's eyes actually get bothered by this light. I'll try to work a little bit faster. Alright. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to check the area around Edgeworth's car. Mainly this area. This is actually where some of the bloodstains were actually found. See? There you go. And there's some of the blood. There's one of the bloodstains. Relax there, Emma. Oh, trust me. I've seen real blood quite a few times in real life. We definitely know this is a blood stain. Actually, yes. It's the bloodstain's location. Not just that, but also the amount of blood. Exactly. The amount of blood. The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little bit more blood? Especially since the victim was actually stabbed to death. You would expect there to be more blood. Even if the water did actually wash a majority of it away, you would expect there to be more blood. That is strange. If they fought here, there has to be more blood than this. Very well. Actually, yes, she is. I did say she was going to be very important to this case. Indeed. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all our evidence in court. All their evidence. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Now let's bring the hidden evidence out into the light of day. Indeed. Ah, Detective... I should say former Detective Starr. My apologies, Miss Star, but you lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. I don't buy it. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So you were a detective, weren't you? Weren't you, Miss Saw? Exactly. Cough up, Queen. And you were let go? Fired? That could explain why she has a grudge against prosecutors. The SO9 incident. So, I was right. Let's see what we have here. What do you think about this? The SO9 incident. It's written on that knife. Goodman was the head detective on that case. That knife was evidence from that case. It's due for transfer the very day that Goodman was killed. I thought so. Think you can tell us more about the SL9 incident? Something doesn't fit. We found this ID card here in this parking lot. Simply Goodman's. It's the same ID as the man who was killed at the police department. I wish I could be so sure. She went straight to the scene of the crime. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Oh, my testimony doesn't work. 5 minutes were not the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. That time? Nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable to who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I had ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So they didn't solve it? On the contrary, they solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught in that. Whoa! Executed? Problem was, they never did find decisive evidence, not a shred. What? The criminal was executed, right? So it was made up. Executed someone with fabricated evidence? Best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Someone demoted to patrolman. Others found themselves out of a job. You were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well. Detective Jake Marshall. Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over. And he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SO9? There's another side to the case. The hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Interesting. Just when all the detectives on SO9 have disappeared, we find new evidence. That cannot be a coincidence. Yes, Emma. I agree. There is a connection. What? Oh, you're damn right I'm serious about investigating this case. Hmm. The Star. Officer Marshall is here. Long time ago when he was this would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. Putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. Officer Jake Marshall. Alright. Let's continue. It's even busier today than it was yesterday. Detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. I suppose it makes sense. The detective did get killed here after all. So, evidence from the scene of the crime. According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. Technically, she is still a kid. She is only 16. And technically, a person doesn't turn and it doesn't become a legal adult until they turn 18. At least not here in the U.S. At least here in the U.S. anyway. Though I believe they can actually get a driver's license at age 17. Let's see. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. Guard station. So it's cacti. It's so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight. If you can't handle that cacti, better stay out of the desert. Got that? Got that, partner? I apologize, everyone. I couldn't resist. Oh, God. see what we have here. Alright. Now, we're actually not going to head to... We're actually going to leave the guard station for the time being. Ah, Detective Gumshoe. The criminal, you mean? I'd like to know who that victim is. A lot of gamers often ask me, what is the